wants to do. They've scrimmed each other and played each other in the league 1,000 times. It's a more individualistic meta, and maybe not developing the meta for the tournament as a whole, right? You're going back to the microcosm of EU. Oh, what worked against Liquid when we played them for the 20th time last month, you know?
Yeah.
And that's going to look vastly different than maybe what they're going to play versus other stuff. But this Brood pick caught you sleeping a little bit, maybe.
Maybe. So we want to be able to see the Sand King eventually matched into the Broodmother at some point in time. Maybe they can put the Razor in that lane initially, but eventually we got to see Mickey go through that. And right now, it seems like very little information is being gained by Gaimin Gladiators. We saw, for example, our Bane, Celery, just kind of like sitting on the other side of the river, offering a high five, seeing if anybody will show themselves. Nobody did.
There's a couple interesting things about this lane dodge they're trying to get. It's Ace. He's going to run a high route here going bottom.
The battle begins.
Potentially showing this Observer.
You're going to be able to take away this bounty rune and try and get some serious damage onto Insania. Oh, who actually has Spirits first, so that's going to be a first blood as the Hoodwink snipes that one out. Tofu picks up the first blood. A good start here for Gaimin Gladiators.
Did he want Spirits first?
I cannot imagine that was the case.
It's pretty rare. I feel like especially for him. To me, it's kind of an adventurous build. I feel like Insania tends to just play the lanes how he wants to play them. Conservative, solid, give him a ton of start. This is definitely very aggressive, and they're getting tri-lane too. So you can't really play aggressive early on with balls versus a tri-lane.
Yeah.
This hurts a decent amount. And at the same time, Gaimin Gladiators won the lane matchups too, right?
Yep.
They got the Brood versus the Enigma, who he is getting zoned, but they got this 3-on-2. In general, they should be pretty happy with the conceptual outplay in these lanes.
So now it comes down to a bit of execution. Like maybe this Clockwork can somehow keep Ace away, that he can give the Enigma enough of an advantage that maybe the lane matchup goes a little bit better than it actually should. Because I don't think I think Clockwork's one of those heroes that he really, really needs the levels. I'm not sure how good you're going to feel about tri-laning right away, so...
No, he doesn't want to go up there right away. When you end up in this scenario, you definitely play in the 2-on-1, and you play this. You just survive the 2-on-3, which is what Liquid's trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's where the tether would have helped a lot, because your goal in this lane is to just survive the early waves until the clock comes up and tries to fight with a higher level.
Yeah, and abuse your regen factor, which unfortunately they're not able to do just yet. Ace is going to be a little bit caught, but unfortunately he had so many webs to be able to lay down, so he's going to hide away while the battery assault takes out. It does mean that Zai can get plenty of denies in, and should be getting like near perfect CS in that regard. Boxy now has level 2, so now with the battery assault plus Cogs combination, he's a little bit more of a threat.
This lane's up pretty far here for them though, and this is good equilibrium for Gaimin Gladiators, because this clock IO, even Razor, it's all about running you down the length of the lane and getting the damage in an exchange where you can't trade back.
Yeah.
The deeper this lane is for Gaimin Gladiators, they're super happy about this. Does not allow Matumba to do what he wants on this lane.
But they're not stopping the hard camp pull.
Yep.
Boxy managed to get that, so that is going to be crucial for being able to reset things, as he did the pull straight up, cut down one of the trees. So Gaimin Gladiators, perhaps a small little slip up there that may cost them a little bit of control.
They were definitely fighting for that small camp, but this is a good pull, and this is exactly what you want to do. Get aggressive on this pull, abuse it.
Yeah.
Free kill.
They want to be able to like do something about this hard camp pull and get some of that CS, and that's exactly when Liquid gets aggressive. As soon as support puts himself out of position, they still have some CS they maybe can snatch away here. Boxy really wants it. Oh, the clap goes down. Oh no, Boxy slowed down by the clap. He does manage to get away from Duraccio, as he doesn't have high levels of thirst yet, so he's going to be perfectly fine, it seems.
The big question mark, though, is, again, this Enigma lane bottom. This tri-lane, to me, it's a bit of a wash lane conceptually to some degree, and this Razor, he's so low CS. It's like, it's about surviving for Liquid, but what are they surviving for? Because I don't think their other two lanes are going to exert natural pressure on their own, so they're kind of stuck here, right? And generally in Dota, when you're stuck playing reactionary, it tends not to work out that well.
I don't know, this like Broodmother, it seems like the advantage that the Clockwork gave here, he can't actually stay in lane long enough to get the lifesteal, to get full health, to be able to, like, it's a snowball effect, right? If he's low health enough that he doesn't feel comfortable getting the full effect of his lifesteal, he's just kind of like constantly low from this Eidolon harassment.
It's definitely done a huge amount of work. These 2-on-1s, if you play them well, are super debilitating. And the interesting part about this matchup is actually that Brood does not have a way to deal with the Eidolons until level 6, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's not a summons hero until that ultimate. Whereas Zai, he just gets to punish him. And these Eidolons are stronger than they used to be.
Yes.
They're no joke, so he's actually getting a huge amount done in this matchup. You know, he's going to get to a point where he has Black Hole before this Brood has his spawn Spider.
Cutting him off, Matumba Man from the other side. Celery gets sandwiched in by Liquid. A second kill on the board for them.
These are those little, like, cheeky kills that Liquid needs to get in this tri lane to even out the fact that Matumba's had a rough early start to this lane.
Yeah. Chasing them away. We haven't talked about the mid lane matchup at all. That is, of course, Mickey playing the Sand King mid. He's going up against Boom's Dragonite. Big reason we don't talk about it is because it's a Dragonite lane. Most Dragonite lanes are pretty boring.
So say you.
Yo, yeah?
Yeah.
Give me the excitement of a Dragonite lane.
Ask these Chinese mid laners about that one, you know.
Okay, all right.
Old Chicken and some of these other guys. Super back in the day.
Super back in the day?
Yeah.
God, he was Vici Gaming Super, man. He loved his Dragonites and Vipers. He was like the Chinese version of Fada, you know?
Maybe it's time to make a comeback. The meta suits him.
Maybe it's, I mean, he's been doing the coaching bit for, isn't he coach now of RNG, I think?
He might be.
Yeah, I think that was a recent switcheroo that happened, but man, Ace is just getting pummeled by these Eidolons.
Yeah, this matchup does not look fun with the leads I had, especially since he can deny XP against Brood. Brood is not a hero that wants XP denied.
Yeah, that's
so where I still feel like this in-game matchup is pretty bad for Enigma on the map in general, this early game is going his way by a huge margin.
Yeah.
And that is one way to make up for it.
And it's going to get even more dangerous with Mickey playing a mid Sand King. We're going to have a super fast Blink Dagger online. So there is a possibility of that this Brood doesn't have a good lane and then also maybe gets further shut down by the fast Blink.
It's definitely possible. This is the type of early game that Liquid wants. Something that causes this Brood to get slowed down, kind of chaotic. Their cores get off to a good start, at least the actionary cores, which is Enigma being able to push lanes down and this Sand King with the fast Blink, as you said.
Yeah.
Those are the heroes that's going to make stuff happen, allow for the reload to come through. Liquid really likes this Razor Isle combo. They've not lost with it in a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
So they're very comfortable playing the style and scaling off the back of this.
The highlight for Gaimin Gladiators is that Boom is doing really well in CS. He's actually topped the entire board off of playing off of the easy camp all the time. And Duraccio is still doing much better than Matumba Man when it comes to that net worth as well. Ace is finally level 6, so that is also now where things can turn around. They've actually set up on the Razor here. They're going to try and TP in. Mickey is going to be able to come in. If they can heal him enough,
Fairy
Mickey
Fire
can turn things, and then it is Fairy Fire plus the heals coming in from Instania are enough. They keep Matumba Man alive. Mickey ensures the kill on Celery. And all in all, a rotation forced, but a failed gank from Gaimin Gladiators.
It's a big Sand King TP, though. It was on this Arcane rune, so not as punishing, but it's going to open up some space mid for this DK. And Boom, already starting to take advantage of it here. Pops this ult. He's going to go to town.
Yeah, he's going to
Mickey to run back.
Push Boxy out, actually gets him super low, so you can see Duraccio with the Thirst Stacks is also appreciating that. He's actually using it to his advantage right now, going for the kill on Instania. They're trying to train away the damage, but it doesn't happen fast enough.
So
Duraccio is so damn fast. Mid lane, they're going to go back into it. Mickey is rotated back into here with the epicenter, but a Nightmare is just a little bit of distance caused, but they still pull him in with the Black Hole Zai with the correct read on the range of the Black Hole. Or perhaps the circumference, SVG.
I only studied physics for 4 years, not qualified. Let me tell you something, Zai, we're going to see Matumba go down again.
Yeah.
He's having a rough early game, I'll tell you that. I mean, his net worth it's okay, but they do not feel, I'll tell you, they don't feel good about the way that this trialing necessarily went. But
no.
I was going to say, Zai, he'll get that Black Hole reach. There's a lot of players who wouldn't. That's all I'm going to say, you know?
Oh, really?
This guy.
You calling somebody out, or are you just singing Zai's praises?
Oh, I'm just singing his praises. Right place, right time by a millimeter, you know?
Man, don't miss.
Exactly.
Ace is going to start making his comeback big time. Orb Corrosion, Soul Ring, working towards Arcane Boots. He's actually now ahead of Matumba Man when it comes to net worth.
Yep, and the panel is talking about he likes this pipe utility potential build.
Yeah.
It's going to do work for a large portion of this game, because where is the damage from Liquid going to come out for the big portion of this mid game? You have some nice spells from Sand King, you have some nice spells from Enigma, but your two supports are extremely low damage.
Yes.
So the follow-up is not necessarily there in terms of burst or dealing with the heroes quickly. It can give a lot of extra value to this Brood pipe and the timing they potentially hit with it.
Yeah,
forcing objectives, forcing Roshan, something like this.
Sand King is always been like, I felt like he's just ruined by pipe in many ways. And there was the recent C nerf as well that came in. Tofu, he tried to get off the bushwhack before Boxy could catch him, but unfortunately the battery assault caused a little bit of problems for him there.
Who wants to fight up here, though?
Yeah, they are. With the Rupture still on the Razor, they're going to try and go for the kill on Boxy. He tries to go for a very optimistic TP out. Matumba Man is going to be relieved of the Nightmare. Insania may have to give up his life for this one. But here comes Mickey with an Epicenter Blink in. That's going to do enough damage to finish off the Bane support on the side, and they'll be able to get Boom rather easily with all this magic damage. A worthy trade for Liquid as they give away their two supports and counter Gaimin Gladiators' big move with the Dragonite.
Super nice counter rotation from Mickey, using that blink to full effect, and he's already halfway to bots off that, so he's having a great game along with Zai. And again, this is what Liquid wants. These are the two heroes that are going to be able to stem the tide after Matumba. The downside of that tri-lane is both these carries are going to be lower level, right?
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily going to have the highest impact in these early fights.
No, they can't afford this. Fortunately, Celery, he's in the right place. A beautiful grip that is going to be able to get the Bloodseeker out of there, and they might be able to go back in, but no Bloodright mana or cooldown, so they're not actually going to be able to get that kill. Boom. At least collects the Insania pickup. Same time, looks like Boxy managed to find Tofu. So, trade-off of supports even still.
In a strange move, Ace, he rotated mid during all of that. He even took one of the runes. It's kind of unconventional to see Brood taking a 10-minute mid rune when he's laning in a side lane, but his game flow is a little awkward. I think traditionally as Brood hero, ideally, you know, he's kicking people out of lane, he's taking early tier 1, swinging behind mid. Ace is kind of having to play catch-up mode this game, and it's forcing him to just take some of the safer farm away from his team to progress his game, which it can pay off later for sure. It's not necessarily the wrong decision here.
I wonder if like,
it's an awkward spot for him.
Yeah, it is, right? Especially if you start in the off lane and take the safe lane tower and then take over the jungle and then start sweeping into the mid lane. I feel like it's a lot more natural, but just doing this.
Well, he got the tower, so
yeah,
that's the downside of Mickey playing on these side lanes. Give up some early tier 1s and they'll find Hoodwink again.
They will, Tofu.
Or will they?
Nice use of the ultimate there. It's just sort of like in a way defensive like Hurricane Pike. He just pushes himself backwards away from the danger and barely survives. And he's going to TP out, but it does mean they're going to have to give up on this tower. So Mickey, if he secures the last hit, even closer to that Boots of Travel. It's actually already coming out to him. Zai, Ether Lens, early pickup by him, so these black holes made even easier. And early black hole usage, right? Like, you just kind of throw it down whenever you see an opportunity, right?
Pretty much. I think there is some value in holding it up this game in terms of dissuading some of the aggressive corp movements coming out from like a Brood or this Bloodseeker, but he's happy to just keep accelerating his game. I mean, he's top net worth. Early Aetherland's kind of an interesting pickup. He's going to rush that Octarine, and it's going to be nice for him just keeping Eidolons up on a higher rate. And
big collab.
Big kill.
Liquid making, was that a smoke rotation by 2 and then a
yeah, relo in.
Relo in?
It's also the bots up on Mickey.
Oh, yeah.
He has a decent window to take over this map.
And that rotation is timing so well with Zai pushing in the mid lane. They're even going to be able to find the extra kill on a Tofu, who unfortunately puts himself in the firing line of some Eidolons. Mickey completes that kill. They keep the pressure up on this
Blank
tower.
from Gladiators, though.
Boom. Finding Boxy, and boy, those spiders just tear these supports apart. They have to be a bit afraid of this Broodmother wherever she shows up.
Honestly, Liquid, I feel like they're playing this game extremely well, extremely fast-paced on what they want to use their heroes to do. Abusing the reload when it's off CD, playing around Mickey, choosing where to go, not overextending on the other parts of the map.
Yeah.
Interesting itemizations by them. They went for this Midas on the Razor, which I can understand why. Again, his early game, he was just so gimped from the levels in that 3-on-3. Midas, people, you know, the gold on this got a little nerfed, but the XP can still count for a lot, and that's mainly what it's going to be here for.
And particularly when he's also paired up with the IO already, who's a constant sap on his experience anyway.
Yeah, even more so.
Yeah.
I think it's decent. It'll help him scale as well. This item is by no means necessarily bad on this hero. And Liquid wants to fight.
Yeah, they're going to make a nice 3-man smoke move. Doesn't find really what they're looking for. Celery, prime position, breaks the smoke. Ace is still playing around here, though, so they got to be careful of the Spiderlings who quickly come in. They're trying to deal with the Caustic Finale. There goes the Spiders. They also catch Tofu at the same time, thanks to Boxy catching him with the nice little hook in. Fortunately, that Burrow Strike was a little bit shy of finding another kill, but still 2 supports. Back into the mid lane they go. They continue to keep this pressure focused around the middle of the map.
And every one of these fights Liquid takes, even if they don't get a huge amount out of it, I feel like it's a win, because I think this is the part of the game where Brood, he's going to want to start fighting soon and exerting his presence with these Spiderlings in those core matchups, the Razor Enigma, along with the 2 supports who can't deal with it. He's going this Orchid build. He'll have it pretty much off this camp. Again, not the pipe, which would be the team fight orientation, but the more aggressive Orchid. It's going to help you kill cores, focus down the Enigma for a long time, because he did go this Octarine. But they're going to have to get something done with it here, I feel like.
Yeah, certainly. And he will be having it come in soon. Mickey actually cleans up a host of spiders. Actually, he shows up, Burrow Strikes, hits the spider, sandstorms, and then immediately boots and travels out. So he's just trying to relieve that pressure, kind of get ahead of it, but he doesn't want to stick around too much in this lane. Orchid now complete. So Gaimin Gladiators, their time to start making some moves.
Especially before Matama finishes his BKB. That would be ideal to somehow get a fight.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, though. The benefit of this IO hero is you can always play the map to your advantage with numbers. They have the bots on the Sand King, and the benefit of the Octarine on Enigma is these Eidolons have a larger uptime, right? Which means your lanes get shoved in a bit faster, gives more info towards Liquid's side. This itemization is coming together for their game plan in terms of, we don't have to 5-on-5 you.
No trees to be able to hide away in. Zai just kind of casually cuts all those down with the Midnight Pulse, but at the same time, a double damage next to a Roshan pit somewhere. Nahaz is just rolling in his grave as he's going to be able to get an Aegis for Duraccio thanks to that.
I was saying, Liquid, they don't have to fight Gladiators, but Gladiators have their correct read. And that Orchid Brood timing, hey guys, they don't want to fight us? Take the next best thing. That's a second life on their carry.
And now we could use that Aegis to force more objectives. Like, do you think they're going to try and continue to take, like, some tier 2s off the map and, like, continue to force Liquid? Like, hey, are you going to fight us or not?
I don't think so. I think forcing tier 2s is just way too slow, and you're going to get out far into the map. You're not going to achieve anything. Enigma Sand King would love to take a fight around a tower with the Razor porting in. It's like a dream scenario for them, you know. If Gaimin Gliders overextend in this game, it's going to set up for the big AoE counter initiation.
So it's not that straightforward. So instead, what does Gaimin Gladiators do to try and get the kind of fight that they want?
Ideally, you find the heroes that are trying to shove out the waves aggressively and limit where Liquid can go. Use the mobility of this Brood, who can usually cut between 2 waves. So in this case, if he wants to go top and mid, or mid to triangle, you need to play around it and use it. Ideally, not just run into these Liquid high, damage ultimates that are going to destroy you in a 5-on-5 at this point, but they have a lot of potential to take these skirmishes, especially if they start them off with the numbers advantage.
Well, they're doing just that. Ace is kind of moving back and forth between top and middle right now, but Liquid do still have that advantage of the IO, so they can play bottom lane and still maybe defend that tier 2 if they're presented an option.
I mean, this is where Brood can force the towers just with the summons, though, which is what Ace is doing, and this is part of the strength of this hero. And he's kind of saying, like, you want to show for this, You know, maybe we poke you and try and get a numbers advantage fight. And Mickey, he doesn't even want to have any of that. He just bots his bottom.
Yeah, they set up to make sure that, like, okay, you're going to get that tier 2, but let's also make sure that we get the trade-off here in this bottom lane. They bring all their heroes down here, commit to finishing off the tier 2, so that way they can get their own outpost.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Blink Dagger complete for Zai, and he's going to be going for BKB Lincoln's next. So obviously they don't have an answer to BKB outside of Fiend's Grip. So if he has both Fiend's Grip and BKB, it's guaranteed black holes.
Map's just pretty much getting traded right now.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Gladiators are going to have a decentish BKB timing on their DK and their Bloodseeker here. Potentially in the next couple of minutes.
Radiant's
I'm not sure how
bottom
much the
tower is
BKBs
under
let them fight. I feel like Liquid's lineup doesn't care too much about them. They lose a little bit of damage, but they do not lack in the control department.
4-man smoke up. A dangerous time here for Liquid. His Gaimin Gladiators still have that Aegis. They're feeling strong. They're trying to catch somebody here. Spiders kind of being sent out to scout things as much as possible, but they don't find anybody in the triangle, and the rocket flare is being particularly annoying as well.
Boom really wants a target here, but nice discipline from Liquid, not giving them that fight on the triangle where they don't have the vision control. If those spiders get sent in to scout, you have to back off, and then that high ground ward cements it.
Yeah. And Mickey's doing a good job of just constantly pushing in the bottom lane into the tier 3, so and no one's defending. So it's like Gaimin Gladiators, they know Gaimin Gladiators is hunting for something. They're trying to catch some sort of team fight.
Mickey, he comes back, and this is the smoke from Liquid. They're ready to fight. This is uphill, though.
Oh, straight into the BKB of the Bloodseeker. That's a disaster. Miss Burrow Strike. They're going to try and use the cogs to be able to disengage. They'll relocate out. So that's their answer to the Rupture for now, and it looks like it's going to be a full-on reset for Liquid here. Mataman's actually really far out. I guess he does have the BKB.
I mean, there's high ground vision here for Gladiators.
Yeah.
Don't have Bloodseeker BKB, though.
Hook shot. Going to be able to catch Celery. And it seems like Gaimin Gladiators, I don't know what it was, but Liquid seemed to feel like they were really strong and can brute force it, and Gaimin Gladiators did back down, even though they had that high ground vision you were talking about.
I think they're just not confident enough to fight without Duracio's BKB. I can kind of understand why. At the same time, there was no reload. That ward is so powerful there, you wish you could hold it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a big loss for it to go down. It's another good link.
Starts getting a drain. They have the Malefice, but Boom actually responds and gets a Dragon Tail with the Orchid, with the side damage coming in from the
Nice
side, but
poke
both of them
damage.
weak. Is it going to be enough with the Blood Right? They might just, and they do get him. The Enigma falls, but at the same time, the magic damage coming in is going to be able to trade off into Boom as he can do nothing to be able to get away from this BKB Razor. Oh, what a Fiend's Grip. Right underneath the tier 2 tower. The rest of the team is trying to focus down this Broodmother. The BKB wears out. They catch him with the Bushwhack, and Duraccio now commits in with his own BKB. Finishes off that one core. Does manage to stop Boxy from being able to TP out with a Nightmare. Really, really good catch from Celery, and the buyback from Tofu kind of ensuring the swing there for Gaimin Gladiators.
Just a very well executed fight from Gladiators, playing that poke game on the Enigma. Exactly how you want to do it. I mean, that dies to like the Soulburn and Spiders on the back end, and Mickey, he has a great Burrow Strike with Epicenter here. Liquid's feeling super strong at this point, but again, how much gas is left in the tank? This grip, there's no reload because that reload came out on that earlier engagement.
Yeah.
And that's the best reset from Matumba in these fights.
It's
and at
like
this point,
it's like
Duracio's
literally a
Ferrari.
step, like 100 distance too far forward.
Yep.
You know, if they back off just like a half a second sooner, then it probably looks like a brilliant fight for Liquid, and they're very happy.
Pretty much. That's why Dota's a game of very tiny numbers.
Yep.
You just hope those little tiny numbers on your side, you know. That's
I mean, I
payback for Zai's
I prefer
Black
a
Hole.
bigger number personally, but
Well, we all know
each
your
their own.
preferences, Cap. Nice hook shot.
Nice pushback. That's going to ensure that no one's coming to save Tofu not anytime soon. 60 seconds, because that was a dieback as well, so it does mean Liquid have a significant amount of time where they're going to feel good getting out there. We did see, if you have not seen an Aghanim's Broodmother before, this is a new ability that was put in a couple patches ago called Spinner Snare. It's this line of webs, and they basically act like a version of techies. It's this trap that is laid out, and you can't actually see it. It's like Stasis trap. You may have vision there, but it doesn't go off until you walk into it.
These things are super annoying. It's also better the earlier you can get this item.
Yeah.
And like 23 minutes, it's pretty decent, so you have to watch out for these on the supports, particularly IO. Like even Enigma, Zai doesn't have BKB or anything, you know. You get stuck in this, it's a 4-second route. It's just insanely debilitating. And it's more spell damage he can throw. Like we saw in that earlier fight, if he gets some flank maneuver or he gets on the back line,
yeah,
he throws it behind someone, it's more spell damage, poke damage that he doesn't have to commit into a black hole or an epicenter or link. Could be the name of the game.
Once again, right, like the difference in their objectives in team fights, Liquid wants committal team fights, right, where they get a static link and they all in BKB, just, you know, black hole and just like run at the enemy. Guardian, like Gaimin Gladiators is going to do a lot more of this like poke, play around certain areas of the map, try and play with these Silken Bolas as much as possible.
Yep, abuse the vision, abuse this DK jump into the follow-up, like Bloodlight, Rupture, the Hoodwink spells. This is a pretty decent find. Free Clockwork.
Yeah. Free Clockwork kill. You do have the Dragon form being used, but it does mean Gaimin Gladiators, especially when you have a Broodmother on your team, just immediate map control. So he just is able to send the spiders out everywhere. Liquid got to be scared of any vision, any heroes that are showing.
And I think Ace should be consistently doing these spiders into the jungle areas. I think the vision is super valuable for this game. If they ever find an opportunity of a hero alone, it's amazingly good for them. At the same time, it kind of protects them from some random smoke from Liquid and just jumping them.
Right.
I mean, these summons are just so annoying. I think the players that do this, it's taxing on your focus in the game. But the payoff can be very high.
Yeah, we're seeing Zai actually try and do the same kind of with the Eidolons. It's just not nearly the same.
Yeah, they're just a bit slower, you know?
They're slower. They give away more golds, whereas the spiders are like, it's like the Bill Gates thing, you know, like how much money needs to be on the ground for him to stop and pick it up. That's what one of these spiderites is like. Is it worth killing? Nice
this
catch
spider
though with the hook shot. This is a big catch for Team Liquid. Oh, was that a rocket flare scout from Boxy? That was no vision. That was just pure reads right there from Boxy.
That was pure grit.
Nice.
And instinct, as we like to call it.
Those gamer instincts.
I mean, that's a crazy good find for them. You have to know that Ace is like, oh, guys, it's warded over here. You know,
yeah.
What is this play? There's no way I'm supposed to die here, but that's a big pick-off with Roshan up.
Eva Boxy's like, I got him.
He's like, damn, I'm good. I didn't even know I was that good.
Hopefully we'll be able to get a view of him hitting that hook shot a little bit later. Liquid with this advantage, the Broodmother being down. Oh, nice Force Staff. That's certainly going to help things out. They're going to go for the Rupture, and oh, look at him. He's getting torn apart. The Rupture back, and they're going to be able to get him out. He gets away ever so barely with a beautiful black hole from Zai on top of that one, and just him and Boxy with the Midnight Pulse, they're actually winning the fight. They don't need the Razor's damage, apparently, as they come back in. It was just a small little jump away to the side here, but with the Bloodseeker gone, they feel okay to be able to come back. Insania.
These two supports are just fighting everybody.
Jump. He needs the distance in, and Zai finally gives it to him. Oh, this there. He got him in the end.
Yeah, even he's smiling about that one.
He's like, all right. Good work, Ace. And that's what Tofu says, too.
It's like, yo, Boxy, go find this guy again.
Yeah.
Done with this guy's shenanigans.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't talked in a bit about Zai, but he is closing in on that BKB, and that was a beautiful black hole by him, and it's only going to get worse if he does get that BKB, because then only Celery can stop it.
Yep, and he doesn't necessarily want to be gripping Enigma or like having to play like that.
Yeah.
We're going to see Insania. You think you're safe?
Boom! Nah. Catches them both. Perfect timing.
The thing is, he saw Zai run into it, but not enough, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you got to scout that stuff for me, man.
Oh!
Meanwhile, though,
you said, Boxy, go find him. Well, it's Matumba Man who got the kill. What a beautiful bushwhack, though. Insania's going to be able to come in, heal up Matumba Man, but yes, they need to be able to rupture out because they're a little bit afraid. This Bloodseeker chasing down the Razor has been a bit of a problem in some of these team fights. So, once again, they reset with a relocate. We'll see whether or not Insania can get himself out Doubtful. Bushwhack, Dragon Tail, so many layered stuns being thrown out, so he immediately dies. Zai actually thinking about going in here with the Midnight Pulse, the Burrow Strike catching at least the support,
Nice
but Tofu,
force.
what a force staff to the side, swings over. Now Mickey's overextended himself, perhaps. They could be fighting with the Sandstorm, but Dyrachyo has no problem with that. He tears through the Sand King super quickly.
No black hole on the back of that. Clockwork's dead, so counter initiator's gone from Liquid. Easy re-engage from Gaimin Gladiators. This Bloodseeker is looking like a beast this game, I have to say. The more I watch this hero, the more interesting it becomes. I think this level 15 talent especially, it turns this Rupture into just a 600 or 700 damage pure nuke.
Yeah.
And you see it at the start of the fights, like that earlier when he throws it on the Razor. It's like getting Finger of Death by something, you know? And all of a sudden, Bloodseeker's powering up himself. And that's a huge deal for this hero. So something to look out for. Like Matumba's build, it's a classic Razor build. You know, refresher BKB, a la Eternal Envy style. But the downside is he doesn't have much survivability if his HP just starts getting chunked at the start of the fight.
Yeah, Matumba Man's making that read with going the Satanic now. So that will help. But we'll see if it's enough. I mean, if he gets, you know, caught with a Dragon Tail at the right time.
But the other big thing is this is a Bane game, and
Nice
you're gonna find Foxy.
Foxy, who's trying to take the outpost. Didn't maybe expected Gaimin Gladiators.
Dyrachyo wants more.
Oh
He's
yeah.
Matumba.
You know, he can't just Rupture straight up.
Gets the bash if he gets
The
in range.
Spinner Snare actually slowed down the Razor. You know, he doesn't want to blow his BKB, but he may have to with a second Spinner Snare. Actually catching him. They managed to get the bash. They managed to get the Fiend's Grip as well. The Cogs to push back a little bit of delay. Dyrachyo gets pulled into the black hole, and so does Boom.
Reload
out. No, the reload back. But Tubman Man was ready to go. He was in prime position to deliver the damage. Dyrachyo's going to have to mind fight him for a second time here. But it's the minus armor that does. It makes a huge difference there. Jump forward once again, this time into a Spinner Snare. Zai is not able to get the extra hero, but Mickey can. Finds the Broodmother, slows him down for a second. A Yule's out, but the Spinner Snares are actually slowing down the rest of Liquid. They weren't able to catch up just yet. Mickey's going to go for another blink in. They try and stop that with a sharpshooter of the Hoodwink, but he's got, there it is. The blink comes in the second time. He's got the epicenter trying to ensure it. The Bushwhack tries to save Ace, but it's not going to be good enough. Even Tofu actually dying to try and save his core, but it's just one more corpse on the bonfire there as Team Liquid cleaning up several heroes. What a great fight for them.
If this Io dies, I think you can take this fight, but once Athenia gets out here, you have no Rupture. This is a huge man up by Dyrachyo. He does have 2 lives, but you're given a decent link over, and Matumba's just, he's a lot tankier than he used to be.
Yeah, and that was a fresh BKB. You saw actually Ace made a really good read, and he orchided Zai. You know, seeing, okay, Black Hole's coming, I'll stop it. But, you know, fresh BKB, he quickly deals with that silence and saves Matumba Man as a result with a beautiful Black Hole.
This is part of why Liquid, they just feel unbeatable with this Io Razor. It gets to a certain point where there's just too much EHP on a hero that is able to deal so much damage over these long fights.
Yeah.
And that's what Io's usually going to provide you. It's not that easy for Gaimin Gladiators to burst this Razor anymore, as we saw. It's going to take mispositioning from Liquid, which can happen if you get the vision, but it's not a guarantee either. Clockwork's decent vision for Liquid this game, as well as, you know, some of these Eidolon scouting.
And thanks to the Octarine rush of Zai, not only has it improved his farm time by quite a bit, as he just has Eidolons constantly going out, but he already has Black Hole back up again. So it's not even like there was much of a window for Gaimin Gladiators to take advantage of. In fact, it's Liquid who are going to make first strike here.
The Spinner Snares, rooting all of them off that smoke.
Oh no.
If anything, it's done some decent mental damage this game, I'll say that much.
Yeah. And it gives Gaimin Gladiators an alarm bell that goes off, lets them know there's Liquid trying to make a move. Liquid are just going to boldly force down this tier 1 tower. I'm interested to see if they're ever able to use this Spinner Snare to stop Insania from going for the defensive relocate.
I mean, if he accomplishes that mid-fight, I'll be highly impressed.
Another pick. Seller looks like he was maybe trying to get some vision down, but scouted, hook-shotted. And 70 seconds where it's a 4 versus 5 to the favor of Team Liquid. So Gaimin Gladiators just going to hold real close to this triangle.
You know what I think would actually be good for Gaimin Gladiators here is if Liquid tries to force these aggressive fights.
Yeah.
You blink stun this Razor and you force him in. Because I think forcing the fight really deep for Liquid to take might be obnoxious, and you can get a really deep, good grip. And then it's just canceling reload, right?
Sure, yeah.
It might be a way they can take these fights, but
and if
I
he's
think people
ruptured,
are.
I mean, that's just a little cherry on top as well. Yeah.
But I think people are hesitant to use these aggressive forces. I also think people forget about them a little bit because, I mean, the cast range got nerfed, so it's harder, but it could be an interesting tactic if it gets to a point in this game where Liquid's trying to go high ground.
Now, one thing that's always a big deal in Razor matchups is being able to have a Lotus Orb. So that is a big swing. The fact that Tofu now has a Lotus Orb to be able to try and deal with this Razor, so they could put it on the Bloodseeker. Static Link is not going to be nearly the same kind of deterrent it was before.
Lotus and Force, these are anti-Razor items. Some of the best ones. So Gaimin Gladiators are always big on trying to help their cores and what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's just a question of where's the damage going to come from. Like, how are they killing this Razor? There's double BKB, double Satanic, and Io behind him who Insane does not have to position aggressively, right?
Yeah.
He can just wait, buy his time. They have 3 counter initiators that can stall a go on this Razor, so he doesn't even have to be the first one in to save him. Fight feels fairly straightforward for Liquid unless there's just some crazy amount of spellcasting and burst that comes out.
I guess read a Butterfly too. Like, my thought was like, oh, go with Scotty or something like that. But Butterfly is a great choice because Dyrachyo, he's going to be the one going a Scotty. He doesn't have room for an MKB. So this has significantly increased the effective HP of Razor against Bloodseeker.
Everything about this Razor is just survive.
Yeah.
Let the spells do the work. I mean, his spells will also do a lot of work in terms of DPS. He is stacked at this point.
Yeah.
This Butterfly, like you said, very nice timing. They can end this game in the next 5 minutes here off the back of this itemization without a chance for Dyrachyo to even respond to it. And even if he does have MKB, I mean, it's not guaranteed he's getting in there and man-fighting this Razor to the death.
That, I feel like, is the potential coup de grace there. Lincoln's complete for Zai, so if he plays this right, guaranteed black hole.
And I think it's on that Bloodseeker every time.
Yeah.
I mean, who else is threatening his front line in this game? Nobody. And so...
Yeah. So Gaimin Gladiators...
Play patient too.
It feels like you almost need a chaotic fight. Like, you have to force mistakes out of Team Liquid, right?
Yeah, or force them in.
It's a force, one way or the other. Mass force staffs, that's what they need. 5 force staffs. Sounds a little bit like EG, not only EG versus eHome. You know, just mass daggets. That's one way to deal with it.
That was a very different game at a very different time.
True.
Also, you know, they got Mega'd, so I don't know if Gaimin Gladiators want to get Mega creeped in order for their 5 force staffs to swing them back to victory.
Yeah, but well, they might be saying hello to at least some super creeps coming in soon. The bottom tier 3 is under assault. Gaimin Gladiators are going to go for the defense here, but they're not pulling back Dyrachyo. They're going to see if they can call Liquid's bluff and keep Dyrachyo out on the map farming, I guess.
I mean, that's pretty much all he wants to do at this point. He just needs more items to power himself up to a larger degree.
Like, what does his full 6 slot look like? Because doesn't he need an MKB?
I mean, he's thinking Swift Blink, which is interesting. A lot of these games where you feel like you can't just, you know, run in the fight, Swift Blink allows you to pick your target better.
Okay.
Maybe start it on a 5v4 or dodge some of these spells too, right?
Yeah.
Like, he has this Basher, so he might just be able to blink, go on this Enigma, for example, and they have enough long-range burst that they can deal with him. It's an interesting itemization. I think it could work out really well. At the same time, it's an expensive item and he's a long way away.
Okay, so pick your target, but like, who is that target? Is he giving up on going on the Razor now? Is that like the idea behind Swift Blink? Is he just going to try and kill everybody else, basically?
I think conceptually Razor's hard to go on in this game.
Sure.
You're just giving all of this Liquid team fight free reign.
Yeah.
Like, especially if it's the Bloodseeker hitting him, because you're happy to just black hole him if you're confident that this Lincoln's BKB is going to hold up, which I think you should be. And then once this Bloodseeker's black hold, I don't see enough damage coming out from the other heroes. So I think it's about finding this backline. But again, that's where Matumba, this guy's a pretty experienced player, you know? And I will say a lot of his experience is frontlining.
Frontline, the
very
green
notable
heroes,
players.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So if anyone knows how to do it, it's probably him.
You know, interesting little note is that Blitz recently told me that he feels like Matumba Man is like one of the most valuable players in the world to have on a team.
Well, yeah, he's on his team.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he had incredibly high praise for Matumba Man, and just saying like what he brings to a team is like people don't recognize how much he does.
I agree. I think this guy has always looked like a crucial point of every team he's been on.
Yeah.
Going back to those early Kuroki team. And this guy's map understanding and what he wants to do with this hero is just always top tier.
The crucial part for Gaimin Gladiators is this Ace Broodmother, but it has not managed to pull through early on, and now they're going late game. And they just use a straight-up black hole to catch him, plus the gem.
Dyrachyo wants to fight, though, on the back end.
He does, and he may catch some Liquid heroes a little bit disoriented here as they've already relocated back the Razor, so it's pretty much just a free grab of whoever you can get. They're probably going to die on the Liquid side. So far, it's only Boxy, though. I would have really loved to be able to find somebody else here. Oh, maybe they did. Mickey gets ruptured. He's got BKB, Yules. He could do that, but he can't TP out, and there's going to be bashes coming in soon. Dyrachyo commits for this kill. They actually try and keep him alive with the heals coming in from Insania. They managed to do for a little bit longer, but he finally does finish off Celery Throw. He goes down. Dyrachyo's got to get out. Same with Boom. They're just going to mass TP away. Liquid actually double buybacking there. Thought they were perhaps in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure if they actually, there's enough weakness for them to go like high ground or anything. Oh, they want to secure Roshan. That makes sense.
Definitely nice for the Roche, but at the same time, Dyrachyo TP out so early. His buybacks might have been a little preemptive. I don't think Liquid's too happy with that exchange, but this Roshan is a refresher shard, so definitely insanely powerful with their lineup.
Oh, beautiful combination there. The Rocket Flare to be able to give the vision. Sai gets the Malphus stun. Boxy with the follow-up, so they get a +1 on top of the spoils of Roshan. It is going to be a refresher shard, not an Aghanims.
Yep, so that goes to Zai, and that's double black hole, double Lincolns, double BKB. Aegis on Mickey, that'll make up for the buyback there, and maybe not the the theoretical optimal way that they would have liked that Roshan to go, but they'll take it at any day of the week, I think.
Yeah, still an amazing advantage for them to be able to have. So at this point, like, it feels like Liquid have so many easy mode ways to win a team fight. Gaimin Gladiators, this is going to be complicated for them.
It's very hard.
If they win this fight, it's off of them forcing a lot of circumstances that are perfect. And Orchid trying to stop the Cogs push back here, but at the same time, they're going to use the black hole to ensure that they manage to get Boom. And they're even pulling in the Broodmother in as well on top of the support pickup. They are going to use the Rupture and buybacks here. Boxy's going to be stuck. They commit for that one pretty easy. Matumba Man, he's got the Spinner Snare as well as Rupture on him. So they're actually poking at him a decent amount. They forced out Satanic as well. Oh, but the jump in from Mickey.
It's another hole, remember.
Nightmare. He managed to get off the BKB, but here comes that second black hole. Just fully committed to finish off the Bloodseeker. They get him. That's a dieback there. And without the Bloodseeker, do they have any kind of damage to stop this assault from Liquid?
No. And he's so close to buyback, too. He's 270 off, but
Liquid are going to respect it.
It looks like it's enough. Not sure if Liquid should be so afraid here. Maybe they're worried about this Bloodseeker buyback, but at the same time, you do have that reload to kind of bail out your Razor if somehow it comes to that, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked to see them push that a bit more, but at the same time, you got double buyback from Gaimin Gladiators. You use 2 black holes. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with waiting for this black hole to come up and, conceptually never taking a fight without your best spell in this game.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair way to go about it. And again, we saw there, Zai is perfectly happy to black hole his Bloodseeker every time. He doesn't really have to do more than that.
Yeah. The fact that he's got the shard and it's pulling in some of the supports and some of the backline heroes is just a cherry on top. But as you said, really just needs to focus on the Bloodseeker. And they don't have the saves for him. Like, at best, they have a 1-second, Nightmare save.
I mean, that ain't not doing anything, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
And Matumba, he has Ags now. So this is Refresher Ags Racer. He can melt the buildings. And he also has Trickster Cloak. So his evasion is up to 50% almost.
Oh, jeez.
This is where you really need the MKB in terms of who is actually killing this guy.
That's not going to come for, well, potentially ever. Gaimin Gladiators, they're going to have to, very likely here, find some way to win a team fight in order to get the net worth to have an MKB possibility for the Bloodseeker.
I also want to say, this IO hero, this hero's always super interesting every meta he's in.
Okay.
One of the things I like about him in this patch is I think this meta's a lot about the Roshans you get and how much acceleration these second and third Roshans actually give you in terms of net worth.
Yeah.
One of the things I think can be underwhelming is cheese. I think a lot of lineups actually have issues using this item to full effect.
Yeah.
It looks really good when you see it, but I feel like there's a lot of times you don't. IO is the best cheese user in the game because he gets to use it for someone else with his empty item slots on top of the amp. So, you know, he's all about the heals. He's all about sustain. It's one of the things where when you get this cheese, you feel pretty good about it when you have the IO lineup compared to a lot of others. And Insania, he basically has the get out of jail free card, right?
Oh,
tether cheese, boom, there's another hero.
Yeah, that shard is really broken with Razor, too, who's, like, getting off the spell lifesteal is insane. Coming in from the back, though. Gaimin Gladiators are trying to set up so they could, you know, sweep in from behind and catch some of the backline of Team Liquid, but they didn't quite catch the IO like they were hoping to.
This is a
Liquid.
good idea, though.
Yeah.
Again, you have to find the backline.
Team Liquid, hey, they're smoked up themselves, and they're going to try and start knocking on the door of this Radiant base and say, like, you have to come back and defend. You're no longer can catch us from behind. They're going to TP in some of their heroes.
Rupture on Mickey.
It's a start. A lot of damage there. Long range hookshot coming in from Boxy, committing to try and finish off Celery, but it don't quite get it. Forstaff gets him out of there.
Bushwhack in the
take a lot
back.
of damage, but a really good Bushwhack actually catching both Mickey and Insania together. They're poking at him from a distance. This is exactly the way Gaimin Gladiators wants to be able to take this team fight. Tofu committing. Sharpshooter misses. Tanked up by Matumba Man. He wanted to be able to get the kill on Mickey. Nice Bushwhack, though, catching Insania, but nobody from Gaimin Gladiators ready to go to bite.
Though.
Oh, yeah, he is. But he doesn't have Rupture.
Yeah, use both.
I don't know how they stop the Razor without the Rupture. That feels like a core component of it. He's got to quickly blink away from the potential black hole that was coming in. Another hook shot, once again, trying to catch the supports. A lane ward that is spotted by Celery. And hook shot made it pretty obvious.
Well, the way these teams are posturing does not feel like Liquid feels like they're up as much as I think they are.
Yeah, Gaimin Gladiators being very bold. Finds the IO. A massive kill if they can get in. They do. Just enough. Boom. Now going to start backing away from this Razor. And without the IO, Team Liquid are really skittish about taking any sort of fight. What a jump in from Boom. That was a massive pickup.
That's exactly how they want to take the fight, too. Find a target, poke him. Don't commit the Bloodseeker early.
They're going to commit for it. They're going to try and bring down a Black Dragon. They have the Midnight Pulse. They're doing a lot of damage. A two-man Black Hole. Once again, a hookshot that misses, but the Black Hole is more than enough to secure the team fight because they've got another one after that, and that's a dieback on the DK. That's why they were willing to all-in commit there.
Crazy to think about. Boom was doing all of that with no buyback. He's down for 2 minutes now. And there's another black hole up because Zai has already had his own refresher.
They're going to try and catch some heroes while Liquid are a little bit separated here, but the black hole in response. Oh no, they couldn't get through that Lincoln's fast enough.
Dyrachyo used in the back.
Dyrachyo is going to be forced to use his BKB, but a hook shot stops him from a successful TP out, and that's going to be it right there most likely. They do have the buyback on the Bloodseeker, but it's going to be a 3 versus 5.
No black holes.
True.
No Razor ults. Maybe you can take it. It's going to be a tough one, though.
Maybe they can at least hold for their throne. It's going to be Megas, and Team Liquid are not going to slow down. Buyback now used from the Bloodseeker. Let's see if they respond. The Rupture. They're going to start poking at the Razor, but Mickey, nice two-man stun. Follow-up from the hookshot of Boxy. They're trying to keep on some of these heroes, but unfortunately they're elusive enough. Gaimin Gladiators able to reset back to their fountain. Liquid. Are they going to stick around for this one?
You
they
stick
keep
around.
it going?
This is your time to end the game. You should push it.
Oh, yeah, they've got the ultimate back up for the Razor. Once again, Lotus Orb actually pulling in the Broodmother. That's a little awkward. Cog's pushback as well. He's in no man's land, and Matamba Man happily welcomes him to the grave, as now with that ultimate, they're going to start tearing through these buildings. 25 seconds for the Dragon Knight. It's just not going to be up fast enough. The throne is going to get focused down. Even if Gaimin Gladiators could get in there right now, they can't stop the building damage. Horacio does all he can, but Liquid, objective focus, bring down the throne and take game 1 against Gaimin Gladiators.